On Two Wheels this week, we visit Three Sisters Racetrack near Wigan for a junior road race meeting. And I think I may have discovered the most biker-friendly city in the country. And there's a few more two-wheeled cock-ups.
Paul and I are in the heart of Lancashire. We're actually in Wigan, Three Sisters Racing Circuit, and we've come to watch these guys road racing. We've actually come to watch the Tiddlers. Well, they're actually not that small, because they're between 11 and 16, and most of them are a lot taller than I am. And Paul's down in the pits as we speak, talking to somebody who knows all about it.
Well, here's the chairman of the Junior Racing Association, Richardf Pyle. Hi, Adrian. Thanks for inviting us to your fantastic meeting here today. It's fairly new, though, junior racing, isn't it?
It is fairly new. We actually started in about 91. It took 2 to 3 years to get through the red tape, obviously, all that sort of thing. And we actually staged our first meeting here in 94. Funnily enough, on this very meeting, the end of July.
Right, so this is a birthday today,
This is the JRA's birthday.
Hey, fantastic, right. So how old are these riders?
They start at 11 and they can go through to the 16th year.
Right, and very popular it is as well. So what kind of machines are they on? What size of machines?
There's basically two groups. There's the Kojivas, that type of thing, the A-class shall we call it. They're 80cc, or there is a more affordable Japanese class which is up to 100cc.
Right, they're fast enough though. I've seen some of these lads practicing, they don't have whiz round on them.
They're very quick. The only stipulation basically to keep the speed down is a 22mm carburettor.
Right.
But even so, on a circuit like Aintree or Darling Moor, they're pulling over 100 mile an hour.
Wow, that's impressive stuff. So typically how many do you get at a meeting? Is it really popular?
It varies. Obviously we go throughout the country at various tracks. It varies meeting to meeting. We have had over 20 on the grid here. We've had 22, should I say, enter when you can only allow 20 on the grid.
Oh, right.
Which has resulted in a bit of a scene at times.
I can imagine, yeah. A bit of a punch up in the pits, perhaps.
That's right, yeah.
Right, and does it run? It's ACU governed, I presume.
It all has to come under the ordinary ACU jurisdiction. Yeah, everything. Yeah.
So it's run like a World Superbike series, but
it is. Yeah. It's 10 rounds throughout the country. There's 2 legs at each meeting.
Right.
The points from 1st to 15th place.
Right. Yeah. And this really is, I mean, it's a breeding ground, isn't it, for superstars of the future? So give us some famous names that we might know that started in junior racing.
Very much so. I would have to say first and foremost James Coseland.
Oh, of course, yeah.
James Allison, who are both now in the Castrol Works Honda team. Guy Etherington, who is doing World Twins racing. Steve Brogan, just down the road in Dave Dean's Honda team. David Johnston, another one. He was second last year in the ACU 600 series.
Right.
But they're coming through all the while. Seemingly every year chucks 1 or 2 out that are really going to make it to the top.
Excellent, great stuff.
Trevor, tell me about this here bike, because it strikes me as it could be a 9162 Ducati, but it isn't. What is it?
Well, actually, it's a Derby GPR 50, and it's been fully race kitted out and ready for the track.
It started life, I mean, you could buy one of these and use it as a road-going moped, couldn't you, originally?
Yeah, you could. It's just a standard 16-year-old moped.
But not anymore, because you're racing it, aren't you? How old are you, Trevor?
I'm 15.
15, so you couldn't go on the road yet anyway.
No.
But nonetheless, you're racing this bike, but there's a nice little story that goes with this, with the Derby factory, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Tell us about it, mate.
Well, it started off, we got the bike from the importers. We had sponsorship off them. We're still being sponsored by them. We wrote to Spain in Barcelona asking for sponsorship by Derby. Instead of sponsorship given to us, we actually got a letter inviting us to go to Spain to test ride a Grand Prix 125.
GP 125 in Spain for a couple of weeks. This is like me talking to a factory-sponsored rider. I feel quite honoured, really.
Thanks.
And your surname's Rock, isn't it? And I believe you're a chip off the old block anyway with your father, because he's a racer, isn't he, of the past?
Yeah, he's done quite well. He's had a few bikes.
Has he? Many years of riding?
About 30.
30 years of riding?
Yeah.
And he reckons he's not even 32 himself, he lies, doesn't he? So what's the score for yourself then? You've obviously got great opportunities with this trip to Spain. What's your intentions for the future? What do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to stay with Derby riding the 50s for about another year.
Yeah.
then I would like to get a Derby 125 from the track still.
Yeah.
And go on to them.
So road racing is your passion.
Yeah.
You can't be swayed away from road racing to perhaps motocross or something like that.
No, this is a lot more fun.
You reckon, do you?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Everyone we've spoken to has either come from motocross to road racing or is in road racing and won't go to anything else.
No, I won't change.
Stay as you are. Well, we wish you the best of luck, mate.
Now it's junior road racing, this 11 to 16-year-olds, as we've already heard. And you think road racing, you think boys. I don't know why, but you do. You think lads, but it's not all lads. Kay here, you're the only lady in this, aren't you, Kay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old are you?
12.
12, right. And tell me about this machine that you're riding. What is it? Honda 80. Very fast, I believe.
90 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour. That's plenty fast enough for me, that. So how did you get into this? Because you've not been doing it very long, have you?
My dad won Daytona twice.
Right. Because I know your dad's Mike Hawthorne, isn't it? Which is a famous name from the past. Right. So he got you into it, did he?
Yep.
And so when did you start?
March.
March. Right. So you're fairly new. What's the best thing about it? What's your favourite part of it?
Beating the lads.
Beating the lads. Yeah, because you have beat a few, haven't you? Because I know, just passes those two little trophies down there. Look at this. This was what, yesterday?
Yep.
Junior, 3rd place, 80cc, 3rd place. So I bet the lads were a bit sick after that, weren't they? I bet they were. So what's your ambition then? Where do you want to go in the future?
Daytona.
Daytona. Well, that's nothing like having ambitions like that. Well, I wish you all the very best and keep beating the boys, eh?
Yep.
Well, I've come over to talk to these two young gentlemen and look at this rather nice Kajiva 80 because it is very well prepared and very, very pretty, I must say. Ollie and Pat here. Now, Pat, you're a somewhat established motorcyclist, been at the game for a while.
I have indeed. I'm a bit long in the tooth racing-wise, certainly, yeah.
But you did start at the same age as Ollie?
I started at the same age as Oliver, 15. I was in the first 50cc race at Kyalami in South Africa, and I finished 13th out of 56 starters, and I was on an Italian Maserati 50, beautiful little bike.
Maserati 50, I know there's many of you, watching our programme probably didn't know that Maserati produce motorcycles.
That's correct.
Known for their famous exotic Italian cars. Ollie, now then, you're quite new to this. I know you've got a little orange jacket on. This is to indicate to people who are the marshals and everybody else that's out there that you're actually a newcomer to it. But I've been watching you in the practice and you're no slouch. You're pretty swift on this machine. So why do we wear the jacket? For that purpose. And how long do you wear the jacket for?
We wear the jacket to let people know, marshals know, that I'm only a novice.
Yeah,
I haven't been riding that long. And I've been wearing it for the past 4 race meetings.
Got you, right.
And as soon as I do a certain amount of races, then I can get rid of it.
You can get rid of the jacket.
Yeah.
Great
Another
stuff.
2 meetings.
Another
to go.
2 meetings. Well, I think it's a good idea because obviously
Yes,
people
it
need
is.
to be
It's
aware.
essential.
And then we've got another member of the family
Yes,
here,
this
young
is-
and he's popped his head up to say hello to us. What's your name? Sorry?
Bo.
Bo, hello Bo. And there's another member of the clan as well,
He
isn't
is
there?
indeed, and he has a younger brother, Dean. There's 5 sons in my
5
family.
sons.
No
blinking
daughters.
hell. Do you think you're going to pursue this in the future then and stick to
Yeah.
it? Great stuff.
that's
And
my-
road racing, you want to stick to that
Yeah.
rather than motocross?
No, I don't like motocross. I'd rather road race.
Good on you.
I've liked it. I've liked it since I was about 2.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we wish you all the best then, and I
Yeah.
suppose really those leathers will be passed down to the young in here, and then
They
the other
will
one.
indeed.
Yeah, that's right. Well, all the best. Keep up the good work, Ollie.
Look at this here, we've got a Welsh flag and a Union Jack, eh? Wales and England combined. Teammates, well not quite teammates, but mates, aren't you?
Yeah.
Lee and Jay, right? Were you mates before you started this road racing?
No, not really.
Did you not know each other?
No.
So, have you met through road racing, yeah?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Is that one of the best things about it? All
Yeah.
being mates? Do you lend bikes and lend tools and swap around stuff? And,
Yeah, we lend tools and parts, but not bikes.
oh, they'll help each other out?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a great accent you've got, Jay. Where are you from?
Wales,
Whereabouts then?
in Merthyr Tydfil.
Merthyr Tydfil.
That's in South Wales.
That's proper Welsh Wales, that, isn't it? Right. Now, you were telling me before, you've come into this not through motocross like a lot of people have, but through something else.
Trials I come in.
Trials riding, right. And what happened with the trials? Why the change?
No, I didn't like riding it because it was too slow and I wasn't getting any adrenaline rush, so
Oh,
I
right.
drove it.
Bit of a speed freak then, eh? Hey, like the speed. And what about you then, Lee? Did you do anything before road
I
racing?
did a race at motocross
Motocross, right?
and I didn't like it, so I just found out about the JRA,
Yeah.
come into it,
Right, excellent. So how long have you been doing it now?
This is my second season.
Second season? Right, and what about you, Jay? You're fairly new, are you, to it?
Yeah, this is my first season in
Right.
it.
And is it what you thought it would be? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Right. So what's your ambitions then? Everyone's got big ambitions. What's yours then,
I
Lee?
need to sponsor first, and then I want to go to 125 Grand Prix.
Do you? Right, well that's plenty of ambition. What about you, Jay? Where are you going to be?
I'd like to become like Carl Fogarty or Aaron Slayton or them in the World Superbike Championship.
Excellent. You're a Welsh World Superbike champion. We've never ever had that, have we? Hey, you could be a world's first. Well, good luck to you. Well done. Now I've managed to track down the Championship Series leader, the man who's running away with it, Howard Mainwaring, and his dad and manager and mechanic and bottle washer and everything.
General run round.
You do everything, don't you, Steve?
That's
Right.
it, yeah.
Howard, we've just seen you out there in a race. You romped it, I think it was fair to say.
Yeah, it's just nice to enjoy it, really.
Yeah.
Nice to run away with it sometimes.
But you are running away with it because tell me how many races you haven't won this year.
One.
One.
Yeah.
Out of how many? Do you know how many?
Not really. I've done a few though.
There's a lot. I know there's a lot. You only didn't win one. Why didn't you win that? What happened there?
Because my bike broke.
Flipping heck, I don't know. That's tremendous. That. So how long have you been doing this? You look like you've been doing it all your life from the way you ride.
No, not really. I did motocross at first.
Yeah.
I won everything on that. Chess champion. Then I did karting, and I won the cadet championship on that. Then we heard that the age was lowered for the junior bikes, Kajiva ATs. We thought that would be good fun. So
Oh right.
Enjoy it.
Right, because right. So you only did karting and motocross because you were too young for road racing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that, Steve? Is that something that's close to your heart, road racing? Are you? Is this? I find a lot of this is like father, like son.
It is close to me now, but that's not really the case as such. It's nice for him
you're
to
an
do
ex-racer though, are you?
That's
Yeah?
right, yeah. I used to race in the 80s, British Championship level. I had some really good results at meetings that were classed as a superbike racing.
Yeah.
Nowadays it was always in the top 10 finishers.
Excellent.
And I just thought it'd be nice if he enjoys doing it, but he enjoys doing it and
Yeah.
wants to go further if we can.
Well, I'm sure you will with the way you ride. But tell me about your bike, Howard. What is it that you're riding?
A Kajiva 80.
Right.
It's up to racing standards at the moment.
It seems pretty good, but you've got two bikes, haven't you?
Yeah, one's for the wet. One's set up for the wet.
How do you like racing in the wet? I hate riding in the wet, mate.
It's nice, I like the slides on it.
Do you? Oh, you're a brave man. I don't know. Flipping it. So you've got two bikes. You've got a fantastic setup here, but it's junior racing isn't that expensive. I mean, can you put a price on a season's racing? Say once you've got your bike, and forgetting this van, because you don't need this,
No,
really.
the cost to do junior racing, really, you need £3,000 to £4,000
Right.
a year to be able to do it properly.
It's not a fortune, is it?
No, it's not really.
No, it's not bad at all. So what's the next step? You're going to win this. I don't think there's much doubt that you're going to take the trophy home at the end of the season. You're 13 now, eh, Howard?
Yeah, just 13, a couple of months.
So you've got a
month ago.
couple of years and a bit left in this, if you want.
Yeah.
What's the next step from there? Where do you go, or where do you hope to go?
I want to go superbike racing, British superbike racing.
Here.
Hope to be like Fogarty.
Well,
Best, number one.
that's it. Well, you can't aim any higher than that. Well, the way you're going now, you'll not be far behind. Cheers, well done. They're very fast, aren't they, Wayne, these lads?
Amazing, very quick indeed.
Very, very quick.
In fact, when you're watching them on the circuit, if you didn't know that they were only kids, you swear they were grown up big people.
They are very, very proficient, but they've done everything else. That's what I can't believe. They're only young, but they've been everywhere.
I know trials riding, motocross, you name it, they seem to have done it.
They've had to go everything. And I would say what I like is in the pit area, the paddock, very friendly atmosphere. All the kids are mates.
Yeah.
And the parents are
They all
mates.
get on. You go
Yeah.
to some of the senior events, the older folks, and they're at each other's throats or whatever.
Oh, I've seen
Not here.
some good punch-ups in paddocks.
Yeah.
None
yeah,
of that
but none
today.
of this, no.
Big happy family, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should have a crack at this, you know.
Give it over, I'm far too big.
No, well, you see, I've been having a look round and some of these youngsters are quite tall, you know, and stocky. And I think if you put a set of leathers on, turned up with a helmet on, kept the visor down, I think you'd easy pass for a 14-year-old.
You cheeky sod.
OK then, perhaps it's a 15-year-old. And coming up after the break, I visit a very biker-friendly city. think of a place where you would see a lot of motorcycles. The Isle of Man? No. Matlock Bath? No. Devil's Bridge? Box Hill? No. Bristol? Bristol? Yeah, Bristol. Because Bristol is a very, very biker-friendly place. There's loads of them. The city's full of them. But this hasn't just happened overnight. Somebody has worked very, very hard to achieve all of this. But who? Well, I'll tell you who's responsible. It's M.A.G, the Motorcycle Action Group. They've done all the donkey work for you, and it's now a really biker-friendly place. And this man, Lou Dewland, is the local area rep for M.A.G. So what did you set out to achieve here in Bristol, Lou?
Well, in the very beginning, we approached the council and asked them for motorcycles to be able to use the bus lanes. We recognised that there was a problem with transport around the city centre and people coming into the city, and there is obviously a solution they were looking for, and we recognised that motorcycles could be part of that solution. We've been very successful with the council. The council have been very biker friendly towards us, and now that we've got the use of bus lanes, we've then approached the council and asked them for secure parking to further encourage motorcyclists to use their bikes instead of cars coming into the city, i.e. for shopping and commuting. And now here at Castle Green, we've got these wonderful, solid, secure bike parking facilities where all you have to do is bring a padlock, link your bike up to it, and it deters the theft of bikes, so further encouraging people to use motorcycles instead of cars.
I think it's fantastic. I think using bus lanes, is a safer place to be on a motorcycle. I mean, because you must have had a big trial period, did you? Because I know there were certain reservations from certain people about using bus lanes, was there?
Absolutely, yes. When we first approached the council and we sat around the table, the bus company, obviously, who use the bus lanes primarily, they did voice an objection. The police had reservations about us using bus lanes. Taxi drivers as well felt that it might hold up the flow of traffic. But after a 6-month trial period, and we got round the table again, the police said their original fears were unfounded. There'd been no accidents. The bus company were happy for us to use the bus lanes, and no problem.
Excellent, superb, well worth all the effort. Now this secure parking, you've got, I don't know how many you've got. How many have you got here? Do you know?
There's approximately 18 here.
Right, and I noticed throughout the city as well, you've got motorcycle only parking bays, and there does seem to be an awful lot of bikes in Bristol.
Yes.
Is it bringing more bikes into the city, this?
Well, certainly around the Bristol area, there are more bike owners per capita than anywhere else in the country.
Right.
And the secure bike parking scheme we have here, we are now approaching the council, asking them to extend that to all the motorcycle parking bays around the city.
Right, well I hope they do. So we've got bikes in bus lanes, that's done, been there, got that, done it. Secure parking, got that, done it. What next?
Well, some people will be aware that the idea of road tolling has been suggested, whereas that if you want to take your car into a city centre or you want to travel to a city centre, then you will have to pay for that privilege. And now we are in the middle of lobbying the council to make motorcyclists exempt from these tolls. And already the response has been favourable, so we're hoping for a success there too.
So M.A.G have actually achieved their aims, they've got everything they want, but there was obviously someone who had to say yes, and this is one of the men that had to say yes from the local Planning and Transport Committee. Hope I've got that right.
That's correct,
right,
yes.
Councillor Richardf Pyle. So, Richard, you said yes.
Yes.
So, what have you got out of it?
Well, we're trying to make Bristol an accessible city. We want people to come into the city, and at the moment there are 500,000 vehicle trips, most of them cars, across the city centre. Get very bad congestion, and we're just trying to encourage other people to make use of other modes of transport. So if they use public transport, that's fine. If they walk, that's fine. We've got about 16% of the commuters now walk to work. Motorcyclists, they're about 5 or 6% commuters now, and that's growing fast.
Right. And so as the congestion eased, are you getting more bikes into the city? Can you actually see?
Well, I can't honestly claim that the congestion's eased because of the growth in traffic every year, but it's probably better than it would be without encouraging the other modes of transport. We've also allowed motorcyclists to use the bus lane, which has been a great benefit because clearly they can get in quickly, they don't interfere with each other, and we think it's much safer.
Yeah, well, I would agree on all of those things. You know, if I could use a bus lane where I live, I'd be in work in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It'd take me 5 minutes. So do you have contact with other councils throughout the country? Are you spreading the good word?
Well, they contact us and ask us for information. We get the occasional visit, and they come down and look at the secure parking devices for motorbikes, look at our bus lanes, and go away. And we hope that they take the message and spread the word.
Good. Well, so do I. Keep spreading the good word.
Something else, it's all, well, and again, something else, it's got a very low seat height, as you can see. And something else, it's got a very low seat height. And while I'm talking about the seat, see this little tailpiece on here, all that covers up is the pillion perch, and it is a bit of a perch, but you just take the seat off, unclip that, and it really is a two-seater. But as I say, a bit of a perch there, but you got little pillion rests. And I've forgotten what else I was going to say. What else was I going to say, Paul? Something else it's got is a very low seat height, which is very useful for those of less resale. Something else it's got is a very low seat height, which is very useful for those of less resale. And something else it's got is a very low seat height, which is very useful for those people of shall we say. And something else, it's got a very low seat height, which is very useful for those people of, shall we say, a short... And something else, as you can see, it's got a very low seat height, which is very useful for short people. And this is going to be a classic, this is. And something else, as you can see, it's got a very low seat height, which is very useful for those people of, shall we say, a shorter disposition. But that's not to be non-PC, as it were. But that would have worked. No, that worked okay. I'm not going to do that again.
On Two Wheels next week, we celebrate our 150th show, and you've been writing in and emailing us by the thousand, requesting your favourite bits. Next week's show will be packed with some of the most popular requests.